Lovan Man here playing Farming Simulator 22, and welcome back to the Upper Mississippi River Valley. Kind of like the last, was it 2 episodes now? We are starting on corn here again. This episode moved on to the next field here. And as a reminder, we got one more field after this here yet. So, of corn, that is, anyway. And then we have, let's see, a field of sunflowers and 3 fields of soybeans, I think it is here. So we'll see how it goes, Evan. We are possibly on our last week. I think, to be honest, it might be another 2 weeks worth of episodes here. We'll see once here. It depends on if I can get all of these fields harvested here in 1 week. That seems like a bit of a big task here, if you ask me, to harvest all of these fields in 1 week. Mind you, we can really do it if we really push here. We'll see once how it goes, Evan. And the reason why I say this sounds like a big job, by the way, Evan, is the fields we have remaining are big. So 27 and 28. I mean, that's going to be a big field harvest. I mean, I'm pretty sure this field is bigger than all the fields we've harvested combined up until this point as far as corn goes. So it's probably actually twice, if not 3 times bigger than everything we've harvested up until this point. So that is going to be a big harvest over there. And like I said, we're going to break out both combines for that. So, and then, yeah, once we're done with that, we'll have to skip. Oh, actually, no, we got sunflowers to harvest yet. Then we'll have to skip some time and get into our soybean harvest. So we'll see once that one might be the last week here on this map. Might be one more after this, not sure. Again, the plan is to wrap up the harvest, Evan, and then we are going to call it here for this map. Speaking of which, we are on episode 106 here, I think it is, right? Episode 106. Wow. Not very often when I exceed 100 episodes on a map, so just as I think a hint there, again, if you haven't played on this map, I think that means folks got to check this map out if you haven't already done so. It is PC only, again. Links are down below. And again, if you want the auto drive network for this map, you can find that link down below as well. And again, that was created by, I believe it's the auto drive guy over on YouTube, by the way. He is the one that did the auto drive network here for this map. Anyway, firing up the John Deere X9 1100 here. Our 20-row corn head on here again. We're on field 43 here this time around. I think our smallest corn field here. I don't know if we'll quite be able to finish that here this episode. Now, we'll see once how it goes. That one, it'd be nice if we could actually finish a field here in an episode, but it's probably not going to happen here if I had to guess. Don't know. Maybe it will. Never know, right? Since last episode there, of course, I haven't finished up the harvest on the field we're working on their last episode. Was that 45, right? Yeah, field 45. That is done. And we got, I think it was like a truckload and a half or so of corn off that field, if I remember correctly. There's actually just a little bit of corn left in the grain cart here yet. Didn't quite have room on the truck for it. It's like 50 bushels or something like that. It's a small amount. The truck was full though, so I was like, yeah, you know what? No sense coming back for like 50 bushels. We'll just, we'll take it to this field here and empty it when we're done with this field. So, like I said, I think it was like a truckload and a half or so of corn off that last field. Let's make sure that our dryer is still running good here yet. We might be able to visit the menu here real quick here. Productions, let's see what's our corn. We got 9,000 bushels in there. And we got 1,700 dried here so far. So slowly going up. And we have, oh yeah, enough propane released a little bit here. Oh, you can see the angle of that there. That's kind of cool. Kind of contouring to the ground there somewhat. You know, that's something as we've discussed in the past, everyone. As the equipment has gotten larger, that has become probably more of a problem. You know, back in the day when you had your little, 2-row, 4-row head, maybe, the massive 6-row head, you didn't really have to worry about that contour to the ground, did you? Nope, probably not so much. But nowadays, Evan, you get the larger heads, especially more on the draper side of things there. Yeah, now you got to worry about actually contouring to the ground. Over, that 50 feet, everyone, the ground might change a little bit. Quite a bit. Again, going back to the old days, everyone, running a 10-foot, 13-foot head, whatever. Yeah, the ground's probably not changing enough over that 10 feet. You really have to worry about it, right? We're almost full here. like kind of a bad spot to fill up, but well, it is what it is. Let's go grab the grain car here. I've got all the equipment parked out by the road here, ready to go. Again, running the John Deere 8RX 410 here for this field. And as I already mentioned, once we're done with this field here, we'll move on to fields 27 and 20. Is it 27, 28? Yeah, 27 and 28 there. I know if you go, like, look them up in the other, like, the buy map, then it's like, was it 26 and 27, I think, or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, that doesn't mess with you. But anyway, 27 and 28 there. We'll definitely be breaking out the big equipment. We'll get both combines. We'll probably have all the trucks down there. And I'm sure we'll have to make some trips back and forth, too, because I have my doubts that 4 trucks will be enough to herald everything from that field. Very much doubt it. In fact, we'll probably, if had to guess, probably run out of space in our silo, I bet. I have to get that corn dryer fired up a little bit quicker. Seems to me, I mentioned this before, but it seems like Giants missed a good opportunity on that one there to, like, tier their factory systems. You know, start out with a lower tier system that can only produce so much per hour. You know, then jump it up to tier 2, you know, pay an extra $50,000 or whatever, and now it can produce twice as much, and you know, up to like a tier 3 factory, and now it can produce 4 times as much, you know, that type of thing, right? Seems like it'd be a good concept there if you ask me, but oh well. What do I know, right? Speaking of what I don't know, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then you should do that. Make sure you get yourself subscribed there. That way you get notified of the next latest, greatest Upper Mississippi River episode going live here. Or actually, maybe instead of the Upper Mississippi River Valley of it, maybe when our new series is going to come out here, either, like I said, next week or the week after. Get notified of that series, and hopefully it'll be a little bit of a fun one. Again, the plan is to go to the Westbridge Hills map, maybe just like a little short mini series, and then we'll have to see what map we're going to play on next. Before I played on this map, Evan, I did have a map in mind. Of course, a lot of new maps have been released since then, so we'll have to see once. We'll have to see. Plus, I do believe we plan on playing that map on multiplayer as well. So if I don't do it single player, we'll possibly have that same map multiplayer. Speaking of multiplayer, by the way, those who'd like to join us are welcome to do so. Teamspeak information down below in the description there. Again, anyone is welcome to join as long as you can play nicely, follow the rules. And again, that Teamspeak information is down below in the description here of this video. Well, we almost got our first headland pass done here. Oh, not even 10 minutes into the episode. I think that's a new record, Evan. Well, and it's a smaller field, too, so, I mean, yeah, what do you expect, right? Usually it seems like it takes, like, either half the episode or, like, the entire episode to make it around some of these fields here, depending on what size field we're working on. There we go. Probably almost get some GPS set up here for this end of the field. Why not, right? Let's turn our GPS on here. We are doing, I think that is 0 degrees here again. Auto with that. Home that up. Ooh, actually, it was already homed up. Okay, cool. That is usually a little bit surprising. Usually when you start the GPS, it's like way off somewhere else, right? Not quite lined up where you need it to be. Not going to complain about that, that's for sure. Oh, and that's a pretty sight, isn't it, everyone? Got the nice fall color going on the trees here. Got a cornfield that's ready to harvest. You know, nice John Deere combine out in the field. Yep. That's a pretty picture there, if you ask me, everyone. Notice our stock stompers don't quite line up with our tires there. We got a few more tires than what the stock stompers width is. Although if you actually look at how much the stock stompers is doing, it looks like it's actually doing pretty good for the entire tire. But visually speaking down there, I don't know if we can, no, can't see him from up here. Kind of hard to actually see him down there, isn't it? Actually, this side's maybe a little better. Got the 3 stock stompers there. Line up for the first inner duel there, but the outside duel, not so much, right? Wow, how did I miss that one single stalk of corn there? Oh boy. I get a call from my field quality manager again. He is not going to be happy about that one single stalk of corn sitting there. And we are full. And we need to pull out and turn around here because no unloading in the crop, everyone. Again, we are running with crop destruction turned on here, so yeah, don't want to drive over the crop if we can help it. Bad things happen if we drive over the crop. And again, with this grain cart oven, 2 loads from the combines pretty much fills it up. Not quite. We do have a little bit of extra space left over, but pretty well fills it. Ooh, speaking of which, need to get the truck pulled in the field here. Probably do that here. We'll pull up underneath the combine here a minute. We'll go grab that truck here. Oh, stop. Put on brakes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, slow down a little bit there. There we go. Let's go grab the truck here. We'll get that in the field. Okay, there we go. That should be good enough. And I think once the combine's done and loading here, we'll probably just pull this up by the grain cart. Yeah, we'll pull this up by the trailer and start unloading the grain cart. There we go. Ooh, can I make that turn? Oh, boy. Yep, there we go. We got that one. This probably, real life wouldn't want to dip the tire of the grain cart down in that ditch. That would probably not be a good thing, right? I don't know how good the center of gravity are on these things, but it doesn't look like it's the greatest, right? Okay, there we go. Back to harvesting. I mean, nice to do one more headline. We'll see when we get to the other end of the field how well it goes turning around. If we have trouble turning around, I might have to do one more headland pass here yet. Obviously, for now, we'll see if we can get away with one. I mean, we harvested 20 rows of corn in one headland pass, right? So, is that enough or is that not enough? Anyway, we'll head over to the comment section here in a moment, see what you folks had to say here about last episode, or, again, previous episodes. First comment here, Christopher was saying, good video, keep it up. Hey, thank you very much for that. Hetro was also saying the same thing. Good video. Thank you very much for that as well. And just a little side note here, I always enjoy reading all you folks' comments. So thanks to you folks that leave the comments. Always very much appreciated. Tim Lee was saying that. Nice video. There's a large 1,200 acre farm for harvesting. He has a Gleaner S98, 2 John Deere S790s with 12 row corn heads, along with a Case Magnum 380, a Kinsey 1100. And he's like 5 minutes away from town. Sounds like a pretty nice setup there. Sounds like a lot of harvesters for 1,200 acres. 1,200 acres, and he has 3 combines? Seems like a little bit of overkill there, if you ask me. You wouldn't happen to be missing a 0 in that there, would you, Tim? Just got to ask, because 1,200 acres does not sound like enough for 3 combines. 12,000, though, man. 12,000 acres? That's definitely enough for 3 combines. Mason was saying, I've heard that John Deere is moving away from row sense, the row feelers, and are moving towards implementing guidance instead. The planter will use its globe receiver and record lines where the combine and sprayer will follow instead of row feelers to better deal with down corn and such. I think it's because of the new Gen 5 command arm and new display screens coming out. Well, that too, and the new GPS. Again, especially if you put the GPS on the planter, then you know exactly where that planter was. Currently, a lot of the times, the way it's done, everyone, is the GPS is on the tractor, not the planter. Well, if you have GPS on the tractor, you don't necessarily know where that planter is, right? In theory, everyone, that planter is directly behind the tractor and in line with the GPS. But not always, especially when you start going around corners and if you're working on hills and wet conditions and stuff like that, right, everyone? It's very well possible, especially if you're on like a little bit of a hill or something, that planter can like slide down the hill just a little bit. You might be a foot off or something like that, right? And again, that's not something you want to have when you're harvesting corn. You want that combine to be right on with those rows. The better the corn head lines up with the row of corn, usually the better the job it does. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like I said, and you're starting to see a little bit more of that too, where, like I said, again, the farmers are putting GPS on the planter. Now, at least for myself, I'm not exactly familiar with how that all works, but I'm assuming, GPS on the tractor is for steering the tractor, right? But then the GPS on the planter, is simply for just recording the location of the planter. At least I'm guessing that's how that works anyway, I think. And I know I've heard how it works before, but I just don't remember off the top of my head how that all goes again. But I believe they just simply record the location with the planter GPS. And then, of course, again, go back to Mason's comment there. Once the planter records its location, then that will be used in the combine, or again, like Mason said, sprayers, stuff like that, right? In fact, speaking of which, if I remember correctly, Evan, going back to YouTube here for some of this, the Millennial Farmer, for those who watch the Millennial Farmer on YouTube, they had a lot of down corn here this year, and they do, I believe, use a GPS on their planter. And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they were making use of that here this year, with the down corn. Again, when you have down corn, sometimes the row feelers are ineffective, right? Although not always, not always. Sometimes the row feelers can still work in down corn. It depends on how bad the corn is down. Like if it's just the top half of the corn is broke off, then usually the row feelers still work, because usually the row feelers will be feeling down near the base of the corn. So, top of the corn being broke off won't matter much. However, down corn, if it's broken off down at the base, then obviously, yeah, you might have some problems with your row feelers. Norton was saying, I like corn harvest. It keeps the grain cart moving. Yes, it does. Corn is a much higher yielding crop than, say, soybeans or pretty much any other crop, really, isn't there? Outside of the regular crops, Evan, is there a crop that yields higher than corn? You know, usually corn, Evan, you're up in that 200 bushel range. You know, if you're really doing good, maybe you're up in that 250, maybe 300. Usually that's like your high management stuff, though, where you've babied it, put extra fertilizer and extra chemicals and stuff like that on, right? But, you know, again, usually just, you know, regular corn, you're up in that 200 bushel range. You know, soybeans, you're maybe 50 to 100, maybe more like 50 to, I guess you can get upwards of 100 maybe. Usually more like 50 to 80, right? 50 to 80 bushels. Let's see what's here. Wheat. Oh boy, what is wheat again? I think that's somewhere right around the 100 bushel mark, right, everyone? So, you know, again, corn is probably one of the regular, of the regular crops, one of the higher yielding ones. Well, I think we're doing pretty good here so far, everyone. I don't know if we'll quite finish this field here. Ooh, we might, though, everyone. We might. I mean, we're knocking this out, everyone. We are knocking this out. Kind of cool if we could, but let's see. M. Baker was saying 1 liter is roughly a quarter gallon. Yeah, I think is it like what, 3.5 liters is a gallon or something like that. Don't quote me on those numbers, everyone, but yeah, like 3.5 liters is a gallon, if I remember correctly. 1 liter is more than a quarter gallon. That, yes, I know that, but it's about there. Killen was saying, Farming Simulator and American Truck are my main games. Farming Simulator is my main of the number 2. No idea how many hours I have between all the Farming Simulator games I've played. I've probably got 6,000 to 8,000 hours. I've only got around 300 hours in ATS since I only started playing that about a year ago. And yeah, I think we're actually, we were talking about, or was that the live stream? I forget. We were talking about American Truck Simulator. I don't remember if that was last episode or if that was on the live stream. Because I think we were talking about it on the live stream here as well. Watch out, reminder, by the way, if you'd like to join us in on the RDAllen live streams, we cover all the topics a lot of times. And again, you can find that link down below in the description of this video here. Again, that's RDAllen on Twitch. Link for Twitch down below. But anyway, I'm going back to American Truck Simulator there. Wow, talk about the DLCs for that game, everyone. I know we were kind of talking about that. Obviously, for those who are not familiar with American Truck Simulator, they started out with, I think, was it California, Nevada, and one other one in there? I can't remember now, but they've been slowly releasing state by state new DLCs. And again, I'm just going to guess, what, like maybe $10 a DLC or so. So, you know, not overly expensive, right, everyone? Not a terrible price. Until you maybe stop and think about it and realize, wait a minute, $10 a DLC, but then it's per state, right, everyone? And there's how many states? Yeah, now we're looking at 48, at least if they do all 48 states anyway. They've got a ways to go to make it all 48. But yeah, those DLCs start looking pretty expensive now, right? You know, one of the things I've always wondered, too, Evan, obviously, you know, American Truck Sim, it's gotten to the point, too, where you have states that are in between states now that you need the DLC for. So what happens if you don't buy, like, I'm trying to think here. Gotta remember my geography here now, right? Let's see. I believe they have the like the Oklahoma map out, right? I believe the Oklahoma one is out. Or if it's not, let's just say it is. Let's say they got Oklahoma, so you go buy the Oklahoma DLC, but you don't have... Is it Colorado? I think Colorado is the one next to it, right? Let's say you don't have the Colorado DLC, or Arizona. Is it Arizona? One of those two. Let's just say you don't have either one of them then, right? Well, how are you going to go from California to Oklahoma then? I wonder how that works, Evan. I'm curious. Oh, you know what? Once this is done, I should probably go take it and unload it here. Second load in the truck from this field here already. 1,067 bushels. Again, by the way, for trucks, Evan, I'm using the single hopper bottom trucks. They just work so much better with course play and auto drive. Really wouldn't recommend using anything else but a single hopper bottom trailer for, you know, course play and auto drive. There we go. Back in business. Oh, we might be able to finish the rest of this, everyone. Ooh, we got 4 minutes left in this episode, though. I don't know. Maybe not in 4 minutes, everyone. We'll have to see once here. We'll get as far as we can. We'll have to wrap it up. Anyway, next comment here from Killen. He was saying, I typically move on to the next farming sim game when it comes out. But honestly, at this point, I'm going to keep playing this one for many years. As for American Truck Simulator, that is one game I will sink as much money as I need to into it. Farming Simulator and ATS are my go-to games. I'm obsessed with both. I don't know. That could be a pretty expensive game there on the American Truck Simulator side of things, everyone. You know, again, as we were just discussing, you know, DLC, not that expensive, but when you consider the fact that the American Truck Simulator, they have the potential to do like 48 DLCs. And don't forget, too, everyone, like with American Truck Simulator 2, it's not just state DLCs. You also have truck DLCs and trailer DLCs and skin DLCs. And oh my goodness, I mean, the list goes on with them. They are definitely the DLC king, it seems like, here. And at the rate American Truck Simulator is releasing these DLCs for the states, it'll probably be like 2040 before we see the entire country. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm curious how that series is going to progress, Evan, because like at some point, are people just going to stop buying it and like, yeah, okay, it was great, but you know, 20 years from now, are you really going to be buying the Massachusetts DLC or you know, whatever state they're on by that point? Very curious how that ends up, and we'll have to see once, I guess, you know. Oh, no. Oh, we got 1 minute left, everyone. 1 minute. Ooh. We could, you know, go a little long on the episode and finish this, I suppose. Maybe. We'll see once how much longer this is going to go. Like I said, looks like we got like one more decent sized pass left, and then it really starts getting small here, so. Depends if we got to unload here again, too. If we can fit the rest of this on the combine, this will go pretty quick. I bet we got to unload one more time, though. I have my doubts if this will all fit in the combine. Also nice that this field has a nice little grass border on the outside edge of it. Otherwise, we would probably definitely need a second headland pass. That is definitely kind of one of the nice things about this map, though, everyone. A lot of the fields usually have a decent grass border around them. Mind you, real life, the farmer would probably never do that. They'd be farming right up to the trees there. But It is kind of nice. Gives a little bit of a buffer zone, especially if you're using hired workers, AI workers, course play, auto drive, that type of thing, right? Works a lot better that way when you have a little bit of a buffer zone along the edge of a field, if you ask me. Okay, like I said, we're kind of down to the last little bit here. Kind of sort of out of time here this episode, but we're pretty much almost done here, 201. Almost done. Rather than actually like continuing to go up and down, why don't we just go around here? Oh, we might have to unload one more time yet, though. Kind of what I was suspecting, but... %91%. Oh, it's going to be close, Evan. We got one more full pass here and probably, what, like 6 rows or something like that left? $94. Oh, it's going to be real close, Evan. Oh, it's going to be close. Yeah, something tells me we don't quite have enough space to finish this last little bit. Oh, well. We'll probably just wrap up the episode here in that case, Evan, once the harvester's full here. And I will take care of unloading, and we'll get the last little bit here. Oh. Yeah, well, that is Evan. That is it. I think we'll call it for the episode, Evan. Almost finished. Almost. Not quite. We'll have to unload here, and I think it's the grain cart full, too. Oh, no, that's right. I emptied the grain cart. Okay, so we're good on that part. But anyway, again, thanks for watching. You folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching. Until next time.